My assistant Tyler Sims picked out a restaurant called Mateo's, and Chris, it was probably the best restaurant we've eaten in all year.
That's got to be Italian, right? Yeah, good stuff. Let's talk about the win. It's a huge win. Now 2 in a row, really going in the right direction, headed into the Iona game. Talk to me about the FAU game. Obviously, we couldn't be there, and I know a lot of people maybe listened on the radio or on the internet, but what did you guys have going right in that game, even only playing 6 guys?
Well, what's been working for us is our zone defense. People look at that game and say, well, what happened in the first half? Well, they made threes. But what you got to understand is if you stick with something, it eventually works. In the second half, they were 0 for 11, and they make a 3. So, you can jump out of the defense too quickly. So we just decided to stay in it. We took some quick threes. Their little point guard took 10 threes. So the zone eventually, I think, won the game. That was the big difference.
And you said that, Coach, after the last home game, that you were a really big fan of the zone and that you knew if you stuck with it long enough, it would eventually work. So are we going to see a lot of zone on this team this year?
A lot of zone. I don't know if the statistic, I just read it today, someone, our sports information director, Jason Rich, said we're third in the nation in committing the least amount of fouls. We've only committed, in 12 games, I think, 150 fouls. Last time we only committed 9. So when you don't have a deep bench, fouling becomes an issue, and the zone is different than foul.
And I know this isn't the way a coach wants to think about it, but is the zone almost a way to get some guys a little bit of rest on the defensive end of the floor? I mean, I know you still want an active zone, you still want guys working, but you're not doing so much of like fighting from screens and things of that nature, chasing guys around the floor, right?
The mindset with the zone, Chris, is basically you throw a zone at a team and it slows them down.
Yeah.
So you're not guarding dribble penetration all the time, you're not guarding ball screens. And my thing, when you look at teams play against the zone, they'll do it. If you scout them well, figure out what they're doing, you can play the zone well.
How is the non-conference schedule set this team up for a good run within the MAC?
It's hard. You control programs, right?
Since we've been at Siena, we've always played a good non-conference schedule. I think it prepares you for a lot of different situations. Like Florida Atlantic had really quick guards. So going to the Iona game, you're going to see the same thing. We're also going to see an athletic team play on. So we just played that in Florida Atlantic. Then we played Princeton on one hand. Princeton's more of a deliberate backdoor, running non-conference. So the non-conference, what you try and do is play teams with different styles, and it prepares you for everything.
Let's touch on some of the guys in particular here, and I want to start with the freshman point guard, Evan Himes, who's really jumped off the page. I said to you earlier, a lot of us media members didn't know much about him. We obviously anticipated Rock being the starting point guard. And what can you say about Evan? I mean, it seems like every night he goes out there, he does something else really well that highlights his particular game.
The first thing, the amazing thing about him is he's the 14th leading freshman scorer. So when you come into a program and that kind of productivity, that's pretty amazing. Secondly, he plays almost 40 minutes a game, so he's a freshman, and with only the minutes, that many minutes can weigh you down, but he's strong at the end of the game. He made a terrific 3. He made 48 last night. Made a great 3 from about 22 feet. And then he runs the team, he breaks pressure. So he's had a phenomenal impact on the team. We're really lucky to have a great freshman year so far.
Let me just pull this over here a little bit for you. How much have you leaned on the seniors of this team? It's a young team. How much, not only the seniors, but even a guy like OD, how much have you leaned on them to help you through practice and even bring some of these young guys along outside of practice when you don't necessarily have them under your control?
Well, the 3 seniors have been phenomenal. Kyle Downey, his leadership started last summer. He was in the gym every day working on his game. Obviously, it's shown he's playing really well. Other senior, Owen Wigner, unfortunately, got hurt against Navy, but is a very positive influence in the locker room with the players. And then Brandon Walters has been, a real pleasant surprise. He's played well. He's just shown good leadership. So the leadership comes also not only on the court, but off the court, and I think these three guys have given us that. And then you throw Odie in, who's the other veteran. Odie's play has been terrific. He's had 8, 9 straight double-doubles. Become a real dominant player in the paint. So, you got 4 good upperclassmen, not only playing well, but they're also giving good leadership off the court.
Last thing, Coach, and I'll let you go. Like I said, I know it's been a long day. We'll let you get back to get some rest before practice tomorrow. Through all your years of coaching, have you ever encountered a season like this where you have season-ending injuries? You have an injury to a guy like Trinity where we're not really sure when he might get back with some conditioning still to go. You're really only using 7 healthy scholarship players. I mean, have you ever encountered a season like this in all your years?
No. It's the first time ever I've only played with 7 scholarship players, so that's number 1. And number 2, it's a team that when you look at it, you can't afford another injury. I mean, that's that pressure of going into every practice and game. I mean, I cringe when someone goes down, whoever it is, because you can't afford another injury. So there's also that aspect to it. And when you look at our team, it's really amazing. We're leading the nation. Our starters are playing the most minutes of any team in the country. And I think off the bench, we're only getting under like 24 minutes. So it's pretty amazing what we've accomplished up to this point with the limited numbers. These guys have really produced and played great, and really proud of them.
Last thing, I mean, these guys are young. How long can they endure? I mean, you take it easy on them in practice to get up for the game? Is that the approach?
Yeah, we have to adjust our practices. We go short. Do some innovative things. We might do some work in the pool. Do more shooting. We've got our system in now, so the system's in, you just got to hone it. And then when you play in the conference, you know the teams really well. So you kind of know what you have to do to get ready. So the preparation isn't as intense as staying in the non-conference team that we're not.
Good luck in the Garden next Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, right, against Iona. Next Wednesday night at the Garden for Siena. Good luck, Coach. Thanks so much for bringing the guys out here tonight. Go home and get some rest.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we will start the banter.